Hi friends, this is Dr. Raghuraman, Chief Executive of KRG Rainwater Foundation. See, today I would like to brief you about the methodologies that are being adopted to implement rainwater harvesting in industries. Firstly, a brief note on KRG Rainwater Foundation. KRG Rainwater Foundation is a consultancy organization that consists of a group of professionals who are primarily engaged in providing consultancy services for preparing master plan on rainwater harvesting and execution of the rainwater harvesting projects as well. Our clients include, just to name a few, the prestigious Tata Group of companies that include Tata Steel, Tata Motors, Tata Consultancy Services, Tata Chemicals, Tata Refractories, etc., Reliance Group of Industries, Aditya Birla, ITC, the software giant Infosys, Indian Oil Corporation, TVS Group of Companies, United Breweries, that is Kingfisher, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Saint-Gobain, etc. How to capture the rainwater in industries for its beneficial usage. See, in the past few decades, unimaginable population growth, rapid industrialization, and infrastructure development have resulted in the utilization of huge quantity of water resources, thereby creating a water crisis in many parts of our country. See, there is no proper water management of the available water resources that has led to this crisis. See, now the government of India is taking several measures to effectively and judicially manage the available water resources. Even industries are asked to develop their own internal sources of water to meet their daily requirements. See, rainfall in our country is only season based and it is available only for a period of 3 to 4 months, and that too occurs within 40 to 60 rainy days. The global warming has resulted in the change of rainfall pattern, and mostly rainfall occurs in short bursts. If you observe the rainfall pattern, just in 1 or 2 hours, earlier it used to be just 3 mm, 5 mm. Now within 1 or 2 hours you get 10 centimeters of rainfall, which is quite unusual. See, whenever it rains, only 10 to 20% of the runoff water percolates into the ground and stored as groundwater, while the remaining portion flows as runoff water, which goes to nalas, rivers, and finally reach the sea. Due to this, the percolation of rainwater into the ground is gradually reducing, and the groundwater is depleting at an alarming rate due to overdraft. Therefore, it becomes invariably essential not only for the houses but also major industries, corporates, communities as well to collect the rainwater and store them in tanks for reuse or recharge for later withdrawal. How we can go about rainwater harvesting, especially for a factory? Rainwater harvesting is a science. Basically, it is not just collecting and storing the rainwater. You have to make a proper scientific study for a large area like factories. See, it is invariably required to carry out a detailed study involving various scientific methodologies to devise a master plan for industries or community water harvesting. See, basically how it can be taken forward. That is the rainwater harvesting in industries. The scope of work involves the following. To start with, we collect the data, available data with the industry or from user agencies. Like there will be no, for example, rainfall data, IMD is the nodal agency. Like groundwater information, Central Groundwater Board is there. So like that, we will collect the data from user industries as well as from the agencies, nodal agencies. So the primary and foremost is the rainfall data, because only with rainwater only we have to conserve the water and store it for reuse or recharge. So in the rainfall data, we will be collecting the average annual rainfall. See, whether it is 1000 mm or 1200 mm or 500 mm, 600 mm, accordingly we can plan what type of rainwater harvesting we can plan for that industry, and number of rainy days and the peak intensity rainfall, because this peak intensity rainfall will enable you to design the rainwater harvesting structures. And also it should be analyzed over a period of 50 years and not within 4 or 5 years rainfall data. Only you will get an average rainfall data if you analyze for the last 50 years. See, after analyzing the rainfall data, the total aerial extent of the factory, including the roof area, open area, paved area meaning the concreted area, greenbelt area will be collected, and we will be calculating the runoff water generated from these different areas, because each area has got a different runoff coefficient. Runoff coefficient is the constant that is being applied. Say for example, roof area generates around 85% of water that is falling on the surface. The rainwater harvesting potential for any area is calculated as follows. The formula that is being used is area into runoff coefficient into rainfall in meters. So for example, 100 square meters area, if you are calculating, 100 into, for a roof area it is 85%, I said, that means 0.85 into 1 meter rainfall meaning 1. So it will be 85 KL per year. So this is the formula that is being applied. So apart from that, so we will be doing interaction with the executives who had a long stint within the factory, because they will be having a very good knowledge on the historical data. See what was existing some 10 years back, 20 years back, whether water was available in that area or was it a very dry area. So these information will help us when we go to the field. So this will be first we will be doing the lab work like collection and analysis of the data, then the field investigations. When you go to the field, we will be collecting the data, and then we will be also studying the Google Earth maps. So this will allow us to narrow down the areas of rainwater potential. See, the first, if you systematically make the study, the steps involved will be, first we will be studying the topography of the area. So topography meaning we will be studying the high grounds and low grounds, because it will be either a plain ground, or it will be an undulating terrain. Undulating terrain means it will be lot of highs and lows. Water will be moving from one area to another area. Then we will be studying the drainage pattern. See, drainage pattern is nothing but the movement of water. So how it moves, whether it moves from north to south or from east to west, whether it is going in a different direction or it is going through a preferred path, like that, all these things will be studied in the drainage pattern. Then in a factory, main thing is when you recharge the groundwater, it has to be a non-contaminated water without any pollution. So we have to segregate the non-contaminated areas and contaminant-free stormwater drains, because what will happen in many industries, they will not have a dedicated drain for stormwater, that is the rainwater runoff. So both the effluent and stormwater will be flowing in the same drain. So that we have to study only from the non-contaminant area, and non-contaminant stormwater drains are to be used for diverting the runoff water to the proposed recharge structures. After studying the topographical conditions, we will be studying the hydrogeological study. See, hydrogeological study is nothing but the study of the formations in which the groundwater occurs. See, whenever the rainfall is happening, what we will be doing is we will be diverting the rainfall runoff to allow it to percolate into the ground by constructing artificial recharge structures. See, by continuously impounding the runoff water into the recharge structures, the groundwater table will gradually increase and sustain the yield from the open wells and bore wells. But where to store this water? See, when you do artificial recharge, where to store? See, just you cannot just make one simple pit and put the water in that. It will not percolate into the ground. It depends on the type of subsurface formation that is occurring below the ground. See, how to find it out? So find out the favorable formation that can hold sufficient quantity of recharge water, that like sand. See, sand can hold enormous quantity of water because it has lot of interconnected pores. Then silty sand. This is for we call it a sedimentary formation, sand, clay, silt and all. Then in a rocky area, see, you can store the water in a weathered muram. Then interconnected fractures. Fractures means nothing but cracks and joints. So only these areas you hold water in the subsurface formation. See, to how to understand or find out this subsurface formation. To find out the subsurface formation and assess the groundwater condition, what we do is basically two types of study. First, we will find out the groundwater flow lines. By groundwater flow lines are identified by conventional method called water divining with copper wire. It's a traditional method. It's not scientifically proven, but has proved effectively in the site to trace out the groundwater flow lines, because these groundwater flow lines are areas of potential groundwater occurrence. That is how water moves on the surface. That is, it will move from north to south or from eastward. Similarly, the groundwater also moves along predefined path. It will not flow in all areas, only along some cracks, joints and predefined path only the groundwater also will move.